Hello everybody and welcome to another Bio Showcases. This is Riptale, a game by SuperGod, a 2D action game aiming to make sword combat be as bloody and impactful as possible. The player collects gems that allow them to execute different attacks in the order of their choosing. All this results in a symphony of combos that fill the screen with blood and guts. The footage you're seeing is from my first few attempts, but this is post-commentary. My recording software apparently refused to record my mic on two separate attempts. Anyway, let's check out the story before we get into the actual game. Crisis. When land-veiled sea unveiled the darkness dwelling below. The dragons. Beasts too mighty for regular weapons to defy. Only a skilled warrior could utilize the astral gems. That power attack is deadly enough, clearly, to bring down the source of this evil for good. Alright, so let's get into an actual game. You always start off here, which is basically your tutorial. Movement is pretty simple. I'm using an Xbox controller myself, left and right to move, A to jump. I will move on to the combat tutorial so you can see what is going on with everything that's on the screen right now. So you got 3 gems on you at all times. Each type of gem will give you a different attack. You get those back over time as you use them, as you can tell right there. And which means you can do a combo of 3. You can see the range on those is pretty darn large, so you can locomote pretty quickly using just your attacks as well. Anyway, time to move on to the actual game where we will be introduced to the pretty interesting music, actually. So yeah, it's it's chiptune, but it's like really upbeat, which I suppose would go pretty well with the type of game. So yeah, enemies, as far as I've encountered them, they all die in one hit. Not really showing off the best here. You gotta keep in mind this was my first attempt, so I was still a little bit iffy and everything. There are no checkpoints. If you die, you just start off again. Immediately getting introduced to another track. Good start as well again. What I've learned is that it's kind of like easy to learn, hard to master. Racking up the combos isn't all that easy, depending on what gems you have, of course. But as you can tell, the game is pretty quick on its feet, so there's a lot to take in. Graphics-wise, I do appreciate this. It's simple, and that is worth quite a bit. If there's anything red on the screen besides the scarf you're dragging along, you want it dead, which can quickly make it easy for you to spot where the enemies are, because not all of them move constantly. That would be rather apparent, I would guess. But yeah, you got 3 gems. You can buy more gems with the gold you collect. For instance, here we are heading into a store where you can see some of those. Snow Lilac Gem 250 contains the straight attack, the one we start off with. Yeah, not enough money, I know. Wolf Cherry Gem 500 contains the homing attack. And the Angel Dust Gem 350 contains the triple attack. We're also introduced to a little shopkeeper skeleton. Yesterday I told my wife that I've gone a bone to pick with her. I lost my humor and I couldn't find it. Haha, puns. We all love some humor in our games, right? You know what's the worst thing about dragons? Morning noises. Yeah, I don't get it either. How can we speak and see about organs? Hey, oh hey, a seagull! Ain't that a beautiful thing in nature, right? And we just get into repeats. We're married, I date that sweet-looking skull lady next door. Cocaine on our bones, if you know what I'm saying. Yes, I'll slowly walk out now. So yeah, different gems means you can kind of mix and match as you want, create what you like, if you have the money for it, that is. One thing I would like to say, if you're not good at this game, quote me, then I can see it being difficult to actually getting the extra gems. So I would appreciate like a method to start with a randomized set of gems. I understand why it might be a good thing to not have that and just always start off with 3 same ones. That would be to get better with what you have. If you're good with the first 3 gems, then getting other ones is not really all that important. But if you're not good at the game, it might take a while before you get to try out the other gems, which is kind of a big thing with this game. The books here are for lore purposes. The Ember Hearts have been taken away for granted for too long. As Meister Bimes has shown, we will not take this loss silently. We will remind those arrogant aristocrats who feeds their families. And you get a bit of health, and then you move down towards the next level. There are bosses. I think they come after a set of 3. Managed to find 2. We might show those off later. I'm not entirely sure if I will. Keep it a secret. But there are bosses in the game. The first one I thought was pretty easy. The second one murdered me without me actually being able to do all too much. Anyway, as far as health goes, you can regain health in between levels, but you can also get it from pots. So far, every hit only took away 1 heart. You also get 1 extra HP every time you beat a boss, I think. Again, I haven't played this too much. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah. Moving on, enemy variety is quite interesting. There's quite a few, and you get to learn their patterns, and there are a few that do random stuff, which kind of make things more difficult, but, better than just having the same enemy over and over again. You just chopping through them like a hot katana through butter, right? As you can tell, the enemy has at least a slight hint of red. Again, I do appreciate that. We'll be moving on to another store, and I think I will pick up a new gem here. Yeah, I think I'll be trying out that homing attack. This is where you pick which gem to replace. Once it's replaced, it's gone, can't change it, and now we have our first strike be a homing attack, which is pretty brilliant because, again, lining up the attacks can be quite difficult. So, the first one is immediately a good hit. It might be easier to string up a combo, as you just saw. Again, not the greatest combo, but, it's still better than what we were able to do. What else is there that needs to be said? Yeah, levels are randomly generated. You can go back, but you can't go back up. As in, if a transition goes left to right, you can go back. If it's down, you can't go back up. I'm not totally sure why that is, but that's the way it works. Another thing that might become problematic is sometimes it can be difficult to check what's in the background, what's in the foreground. But I guess it's something you may learn as time goes on. Another thing I find maybe a little bit annoying, you get stuck on pots. And by get stuck, I mean, they're like, you can't walk past them or fall through them, which can be quite annoying if you do indeed plan on getting out of there. So there's another level beat. As I said, there's a bit of lore here. Preparation of tea, Gentleman's Guide. The water must be prepared by boiling it more than 10 minutes, preferably no less than 20 minutes, but for best result at least 30 minutes. I don't know who would take 30 minutes to boil water, but anyway, there you go. Leave it in for 10 minutes, or if the gentleman appreciate it, a good cup of tea, 20 minutes. And honestly, there's no limit to how long the infusion should take, but for God's sake, no less than 10 minutes. I generally only take 3 to 5 minutes. But anyway, however you like your tea, I guess. Anyway, carrying on. Controls are really solid though. Like I said, aiming can be a bit sketchy, but you do have the 360 movement there waiting for you. Other than that, the movement itself is quite gratifying. The gravity is a bit high, so it depends on what you like. You like floaty characters, you not like floaty characters, but the character controls good. We'll probably check out some more combinations I end up with. So, new run, new store, actually got a bit of money. Razor Petal Gem 450 contains the double side attack. Angel Dust Gem contains triple attack, and Copper Blood Gem contains the quick draw attack. So I'll be getting that one as my first one, and then the triple attack to be my second one. And you can see how it affects the actual game. Some more. Some of them I've had a bit of a trouble finding out what actually was the difference, but I can only assume they would do something different. Furthermore, there are also you also get the occasional challenge room. One of those you can see here. Challenge, reach the goal without getting caught by the dragons. Another one I've had was also don't get hit, but was more like arrows being shot at you. You can tell, this being the first time I found this one, I kind of mucked it up pretty darn quickly. But yes, there are other ones, and you know, they kind of bring a little extra thing to you. I'm pretty sure you just get gold, but anyway. Said I was going to show off a boss fight, but you know, I thought I might as well show you what you are in for. Keep in mind, this is the first time I face the guy, so you know, have a bit of respect for my questionable actions. Chrysanos Necro Dragon. As you can see, I'm still using the normal combo, although I did switch out that one straight attack I had left with a homing attack. It seems I do pretty well with those homing attacks. Probably because I don't have to aim or anything, but yeah, you can see boss fights. Kill the guy and you probably win, right? Small hatred towards teleporting enemies. I do not have much respect for those. Hey, if I can't do it, why are they allowed to, right? So yeah, it seems like your typical boss fight, you know, a bunch of ads with a big boss going after everything. And I did manage to kill it, which is great, isn't it? Anyway, we'll now be moving on to the combo I ended up with. The triple homing attack. The moment I saw that there was a homing attack, I was like, I need to get 3 of these. And I managed to pull it off. This is in the same run as I beat the boss in. There are a few biomes you can get into, and they randomly pick, even at the start. So it's not like you first go to Mushroom Caves and you go to, I believe this is the Proving Grounds. You can start in any of them and you can move on to any of them. They just get more difficult as you saw at the start. There are spikes that get added and stuff like that. You can't find those in your first 3 rooms. They just get added in later. Anyway, now that I have the homing attack, you might be seeing some half-decent gameplay at least, so, you know, gives me the opportunity to at least show off some of the more satisfying combos you can end up with. So I guess it's also time to just make a general conclusion to this, about this game. I like it. Like I said at the start, easy to learn, hard to master. Randomly generated levels plus mix and match as far as your gems go can cause for a lot of replayability, which, face it, that's what a lot of us are looking for in games, being able to sink good amounts of time in it without it becoming repetitive. Graphics-wise, it's alright. Like I said before, it's clear. You generally can't ask for more than that. Putting in too many colors might make it more difficult to spot enemies and such, which are only going to hamper you in the long run, admittedly. The boss fights are nice. One minor complaint, which I've also mentioned before, as long as you don't get half decent at this game, you probably won't be able to taste many of the other gems. And whilst I've also explained why that might also be a good thing, and I really was happy with that combo there, you know, you get to get good with the basics, and which means you will also do well with all the other stuff. But you know, you kind of want to get a taste of the fun stuff you can do, like this thing, and you can't unless you get good, because you know the gems, whilst not being terribly overpriced, they do require some farming up to do. But for getting this far into the game this early on, and by this far I don't really know what I mean. I mean, I got to the second set of levels, got to the second boss, where I got my ass beaten pretty heftily. I'm not entirely sure how long the game, or how long a run will take, if there is even, and for all we know it just goes on forever and ever. I doubt it, but I suppose it is possible. There might just be an infinite mode implemented at some point, I'm not entirely sure. Game is €6, by the way, in case you're interested. I think it's like $7.50 or something, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not keeping up to date with exchange rates, you know. Other than that, music's good. I like some good chiptune every now and then. The upbeat goes well with the gameplay. Quick gameplay, quick music. Seems to fit, doesn't it? And I think that is mostly all that I have to say. So, fun little game. Pretty cheap. Pretty sure you can sink some hours into it if you enjoy what you are seeing here. And other than that, I think that is where I'm going to cut it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you're interested in the series. Feel free to subscribe, commenting, liking, and or something if you haven't already. This has been Riptale. I'm seeing you guys all in the next Bio Showcases. Bye, everyone.